Hey, I'm Eric, and I'm the production director here at Cedar Crest.
I'm Corey, and I'm the elementary school coordinator here at Cedar Crest too.
So we've been married for 22 years now, and I guess about 10 years or so in, it was around 2008, I was working for a big corporation, and I went to work just like a normal day, and they called me in at some point. My boss, he just basically said, hey, we're having to lay off thousands of people, today, and you're gonna be one of them. And so just that, immediately throws you into chaos.
Yeah. I think I was a little bit more emotional hearing it at first, and all the things were running through my head going, okay, we're about to have our second child. I am pregnant like crazy. Of course, emotions are running high anyway, but it was just like, what are we gonna do? And it kind of came, he was just very like, we've got this, God's got this, but.
Just the thought of like, how am I gonna support my family? And the company that I was with, they, when they were letting people go, they would give you a severance package. It wasn't much. But it was just based on the amount of years you were there and that kind of thing. And so I got a check that day when I left. And at that point, when I got home, we just really went through a time of like crazy emotions, sad, mad, hurt, like how could this happen? We've served everywhere we can serve. We've done everything that we can think to do. Like, how can this happen, So through that time, I was feeling really convicted, by the Holy Spirit, just that the severance check that I had got, we never tithed off of that. I just had this feeling, and I knew it was from the Holy Spirit, just saying, do you really trust me? You trust me in every other area, but do you really trust me with your finances? I just went to her and I just said, you know what, we never tithed off of that check, and I just feel like we're supposed to. And so Corey's like,
we need to.
Yeah.
We need to be obedient.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we were missing is the whole part about obedience.
Yeah. So that next Sunday at church, I was running sound at the soundboard, and she was sitting next to me, and we had already prayed about it. We already knew what we were doing that day. And so she took the checkbook out and wrote a check. And so we had, to our name, we had $800 left total. Nothing coming behind it, no savings. And so we wrote a check that day for $400 of that. It was hard. We cried, we held it together.
But we knew it was the right thing.
Yeah. We just put it in the bucket when it passed by, and we're just like, God, you got to do something with this. And, I want to be clear, we didn't give that money in expectance that we were going to get something back from that. But I also know that through obedience, when you're obedient to God and what He's calling you to do, that He is going to bless you. That's, it may not be financially,
right.
It might be in other ways. And he did that day. We were tearing down after church, and there was a guy in the band. He never played hardly. He never really came and played for us. He just said, hey, how's work going? And I just said, man, it's really rough. I got laid off from my job a while back, and, just really kind of struggling. And he actually said, well, man, I run a big mortgage company, and we just created a new position in our company. So the next day he called me, and I was working the next day. So that's a huge testament to how God just shows up if you're obedient to what He's calling you to do. So yeah, we can't wait for the greatest gift offering next weekend, because Jesus has been so faithful in our lives, and I know He's going to be in yours too.